I have been using and loving the GoPro Hero 4 session since I purchased it a while back. Never actually did a full review on it, but I've been using it to make all of my RC type videos, as well as more action-y type things like going to the water park and the beach and things like that. So when GoPro announced their new drone and their two new cameras, I was definitely conflicted. I really wanted to go ahead and do the Hero 5 session because it would be a nice comparison to the Hero 4 session, but with a difference in price, I may end up picking up the session down the road. You guys will have to let me know if I should do that or not, but I went ahead and picked up the Hero 5 Black. So today we're going to take a look at the GoPro Hero 5 Black. Now, since this video is 1080p 60 right now, both the cameras I'm using are recording at 1080p 60. The only footage in this video is going to be 1080p 60 from the Hero. If you'd like to see it, I can do another clip or several clips or whatever, where I go through some of the other video formats that it'll do. As you can see here on the side, it does 12 megapixel photos, but it also does 4K 30 video, 1440p 80 videos, so 80 frames per second at 1440p, as well as 1080p 120 frames a second. It has built-in waterproofing. You don't have to have a special case for that now, which is very nice. One button controls just like the Session, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, wind noise reduction, which is very nice. That's one of the biggest upgrades that I've heard about this, is it supposedly got much better audio quality. And just like the previous Heroes, you can actually get an adapter to hook in an external microphone. I'm working on that. I can't justify paying the $50 for the GoPro version, so I'm gonna see if a generic one will work. But without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open this up and see what's in it. And actually, a little bit of further ado, I went back and forth on where to purchase this device, ended up picking it up from Best Buy. Not a sponsor or anything. I do have an affiliate link down below if you'd like to check it out over there. I bought it from Best Buy because it is still retail price, but it came with a micro SD card. A 32 gig Extreme Plus 4K capable micro SD card. So I'll definitely be unboxing and using this as well with it. Speeds up to 95 megabytes per second, 633 times. This is a $25 card, Best Buy included for free. Apparently when the camera first released though, they were giving away 64 gig cards with it. Kinda bummed that I missed out on that one. How do I get this out of here? Well, I've started opening from the bottom. Looks like it's got a little peel strip here and handle. There we go. Everything came out at once. Here it is. So of course on top you've got the camera. Let's go ahead and look at the accessories first though. Here at the top is the Hero 5 Black Let's Get Started guide. Warranty, you break it, we'll replace it for 2 years if you do GoPro Care. GoPro Plus, share and access from anywhere. You get a free 60-day trial, which I think actually gets you a discount on their products. Some GoPro stickers and product and safety instructions. Extremely useful, you get the battery, which is a 4.4 volt, 1220 milliamp hour battery. You get a couple of extra mounts with 3M sticky tape on the back. USB Type-C cable. I'd heard in a couple of places they were moving to USB Type-C. Luckily, I do have several USB Type-C cables and devices at this point, so this will be nice to have. And actually, that's it. That's all that comes in the package. And of course, last but certainly not least, is the camera itself. You can see it comes on a mount that you can just plop into any other standard GoPro mount, or you can pull it off of this, just use the little knob here and separate it and use any other GoPro mount with it. But this is just inside of a little frame, and in this case, it's not a waterproof housing like it has been previously. There we go. This is just a frame, just a place to stick the camera, because the body itself is waterproofed. So we can actually take this off now and just use the camera handheld if we choose. Take it underwater and whatnot, put it in the shower, wherever you want to put it. And the screen on the back is a touch screen. This is not what it's seeing. It's got some sort of a sticker over it. There we go. Clean and fresh and new. But here on the front, you've got your little screen. It gives you a little information about what you're doing. Lens, obviously, GoPro branding. The LED up here in the corner has been moved a little bit. It's a lot smaller, a little less obvious. A little bit of a button here on the side, and it actually looks like there's a door here around it. So let's see if we can kind of, there we go. Just pops open, you have to slide it down, and then inside you've got your mini HDMI as well as USB Type-C ports there, so that's where you're gonna charge things, or maybe connect to your computer if you're doing that. On the other side, we've got a mode button and what appears to be a microphone. Looks like on the top there's also a power button and another microphone. Maybe I'm mistaken there. On the bottom there's another one of those doors with a weird little button on it, so we'll just slide that open. That's where the battery's gonna go, and it looks like it just kind of slides down in there as you would expect and clicks into place. Then you've got your little tab on the top to help you pull it out later. Let's just go ahead and power this up, see what things look like, and do a quick sample clip. So there's a flashing red light here on the back. It says GoPro. On the front we've got GoPro showing up here on this little screen, and it says welcome. Language is English. Set the date. So at the time of filming this, it's actually October 12th. That should give you a little insight as to when I'm doing this and how long it takes to actually do this. And we've gone ahead and set the time there. GPS, we're gonna go ahead and turn that on, and it's gonna do a camera tour. So we'll hit start. We've got the mode button on the side. As I mentioned, it says the short press powers on, long press powers off. Switches between photo and video modes. Adds highlight tags while recording. The shutter button captures photo and videos. That's here on the top. Quick capture. When your GoPro's off, press shutter to power on and start recording automatically. Kinda like the session. Short press for video, long press for time-lapse photos. Camera modes and settings. Tap below to change. So by default it's set to 1080p, 30 frames a second with a wide FOV. On the side it says advanced settings. Swipe left to access additional settings. And then it popped out there and said something about video stabilization for a second. And preferences, swipe down to connect to other devices and change preferences. So swipe down, it shows you that. Media, swipe right to get your photos and videos. There you go. And exit, swipe down to return to the main screen. Then you've got mobile app information. Capture is an app you can use from GoPro. Quick can do edits. Splice can do more edits. And it talks about GoPro Plus where you can auto upload stuff. I'm not doing that. And visit the preference to take the tour again. So that is your, oh, it's beeping. It says we've got 16% battery, so not enough to really get anything done, and it turned itself off. I don't know if that means the battery's completely dead or if it's just the tour was what it wanted to do. It says no SD card, so that's why it's complaining. And I hold the mode button, and it comes on, does not start recording, and I can make changes to things. So I can tap on this to change it from 60 frames a second all the way up to 120. I can change the resolution from 1080 up to 4K. If I tap on 4K and then come back out, it's gonna complain because I'm 60 frames a second. So if I change that back down to 30 and then go to 1080 and change that to 4K, now we are at 4K, 30 frames a second. We can change it from video to video plus photo or looping, photo, photo night, burst, and time-lapse video, time-lapse photo. This is actually a feature that I was missing on the Hero 4 session, so very nice to see time-lapse video as an option. But I'm just going to stick with video for now. And like I said earlier, we are going to go back to 1080p, 60 frames per second, because that's what this video is. And the FOV, you've got wide, medium, linear, narrow, and it goes up from wide to super view. So maybe you can kind of see there, super view, wide, medium, linear, narrow. So linear versus medium, they're very similar, but they appear to just change the vignetting and the curvature around the corners. Kind of prefer linear versus medium. So when I'm recording things, I will probably hold it out in front of me like this if I'm doing like selfie video, and I'll probably have it in linear mode. So just to throw that out there. Taking a look at the other features, the other settings though, if I swipe over from here, we've got Pro Tune as an option, video stabilization, auto low light, manual audio controls, very, very nice. And that appears to be all the settings over here. So if I tap on each one, you can go in and make changes to them. Video stabilization settings, turn on or off. And actually for the wide field of view, it crops it down 10%. So keep that in mind. If you're using it wide, it's gonna zoom it in just a little bit to use electronic stabilization. Swipe over, auto low light, super handy. And supposedly the Hero 5 Black does much, much better in low lighting than the Hero 5 Session. Maybe I'll be able to test that out at some point if I buy the Session. And manual audio controls. It says your GoPro auto switches between stereo and wind reduction modes for optimal sound. Turn on to lock it in either stereo or wind reduction mode. So you pick which one you want at that point. I'm gonna leave it just set to auto for now. And if we swipe over this way, there's no SD card, so that's not gonna work. Swipe down from the top, we can do connectivity or preferences. Check preferences, get the camera tour or about this GoPro, GoPro updates. So if you want, you can do a firmware update there. On camera voice controls, currently turned off. Another big feature of this new camera, you can control the GoPro with your voice. So you can just turn that on and then say whatever you want it to do. You have to see the list of actual commands you can do in the preferences menu though. There it is. So start recording, highlight, stop recording, take a photo, shoot burst, shoot time-lapse. So you can actually tell it, just say GoPro blah, 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 and it'll do that. Very handy feature if it works properly. But that's probably gonna eat some more battery, so I'm gonna turn it off for right now. It is nice to know that it's a feature that is available though. And then beep volume is set to high. I'm gonna turn that down to low. Now I like having a little bit of a beep on, so that's low now. LEDs are currently set to all on. You can turn them all off or just have the front ones go off. Quick capture is turned on, so this button is gonna do quick capture, defaulting to video. Auto off is going to go off at 15 minutes. Screensaver, brightness settings, auto rotation settings, GPS settings, language settings, video format, HDMI output. You can set it to media or live or monitor. That's a super handy feature. You can use this as a live HDMI capture device if you wanted to. And you can also format your SD card and reset everything to defaults. As far as the lock button, the screen gets locked when you do that. Swipe down to unlock it. There you go. And as far as this, that's the voice control being turned on or off. Nice to have a one button for that. And then connectivity, You can set up connections here. You can connect new devices, change the name and the password. I may do that in another time. That's not really an unboxing video kind of thing. I've been going on for a long time here. So finally, I probably ought to just go ahead, put this card in here and do some quick video samples. I'm sure you guys have been waiting for that. And there you go. We are recording on the GoPro Hero5 Black. This is the wide field of view being handheld by me, sitting here in my office in very bright studio lighting. So that should give you a little bit of an indication of what it can look like in very bright indoor lighting. And just for the point of comparison, this is the linear field of view, so it's going to be a lot more zoomed in. It's probably not going to have any curvature or bubbling to the corners, as you may be able to see. So hopefully this looks a little bit better. This is probably a little bit more natural, a little bit less action cammy. And actually, I just realized that I had Pro Tune turned on in the last couple of clips there, so I've gone ahead and turned it off now. So this is the linear with Pro Tune disabled. So this is sort of more what it would be naturally. I've also noticed, just watching the clips back, there's a lot of hand-holding noise. So if I move my hands around, you're gonna hear a lot of that noise just from rubbing against the plastic of the casing. So maybe don't do that. Put it on a tripod, hold it with some sort of a stick or something. Don't know. And for a quick point of comparison, this is the GoPro Hero4 Session 1080p 60 in my studio lighting here in my office. So you can sort of put those side by side there. And for some other samples, here's a relatively dimly lit room. This is our dining room. No lights turned on, the blinds closed. Here is the Hero4 Session in a dimly lit room. So this is the Hero4 Session, not the Hero5 Black. Very dimly lit living room. Maybe not as dark as it would be at night, just because we do have a little bit of natural light coming in over here. But this should give you a little bit of an indication of sort of what it would be like in lower lighting. And that's that. Here's the Hero4 Session in an even more dimly lit room, just like we looked at before with the Hero5 Black. And again, facing toward myself, much smaller footprint, but this is going to do significantly worse in low lighting compared to the Hero5 Black. So this gives you sort of an indication of what it would look like, although I think this is probably still set to Pro Tune. It gives you the sort of an idea though. And here's some outdoor footage. We've got a very light breeze. We've got a little sunlight. Very beautiful fall day out here. Very nice. Coming out to hang out on the deck, so there you go. Not a whole lot of breeze coming through right now, so it's not really gonna put to the test there's a little bit more of a breeze. And actually, I'm gonna just sort of sit here like this and test it out so you can see what it's like with the wind blowing. Not blowing super hard, but you may be able to tell my hair's moving a little bit, so hopefully the wind reduction feature is working out appropriately. And hopefully the video quality looks good. I'm kind of in the shade there, and now I've moved into the sunlight. So this is more what you would expect when you're outdoors filming more action-y type things in the daylight. And actually, I almost forgot to do the super view. I'm standing here at the back door, and from this back door you can actually see almost the entirety of the deck. So this is really, really wide. There's my hand for comparison. And this is me just holding this at almost arm's length, again with the wind blowing and super view. So this is the ultra wide, super view. I can't remember what it's called, but there you go. That's what it looks like and what it sounds like and everything. And we'll move into the sunlight again so you can kind of see the comparison there, how it changes with a little bit of shade versus a lot of sunlight. There you go. And finally, some outdoor wide footage from the Hero4 Session, just to compare to the Hero5 Black, and we'll face it toward me, so again you can get that sort of comparison of what it would look like compared to the Hero5 Black that we just looked at. But this is sunlight on the back deck versus shade on the back deck, 1080p 60 on the Hero4 Session, now I guess known as the Hero Session. So yeah, after doing that little bit of a quick back and forth with them, I know this is no scientific test. All the settings were not 100% the same or anything. First and foremost, the audio quality difference is astounding. The GoPro Hero5 Black has much, much better audio quality. It's still not amazing, but it's still an action camera. And in this case, it does also have the ability, using that USB Type-C port, if I can get this open, to add some sort of an external microphone to it. So you just you're supposed to plug a $50 cable in, and then whatever 3.5mm microphone you want into it. I'm gonna try it with a $7 cable whenever it shows up, but this does have the potential of having much, much, much better audio. In terms of the video quality though, I was actually kind of surprised at how this does not do amazingly well in low light like they kind of said it was supposed to. It does all right, but I don't think it does that much better than the Hero4 Session. In terms of the outdoor footage, as you probably saw there, I was probably not able to overlay it properly so you can see both at the same time, but when you put them side by side, they're really similar. Now granted, this does have a lot more video options than the Hero 4 Session, but just in terms of the quality, in terms of looking at the pixels at 1080p 60, they look surprisingly similar. Am I disappointed in that? Not really. It's still a good, updated camera. It's got a lot of features that I was looking for. The built-in electronic stabilization, the possibility of using an external mic with it, the built-in waterproofing. This camera is going to be a great option for me and probably for a lot of you guys if you're willing to pay $400 for it. If you are looking to pay $400 for this camera, I would suggest trying to get it at Best Buy if you're in an area where you can get to a Best Buy or buy it online specifically. Because of that free included micro SD card, it's like a $25 value, $40 if you buy it on Amazon for some reason. So I'll put a link down in the description to where you can find this over on Best Buy and probably over on Amazon, B&H, and a couple other places if you're interested. But the Best Buy option is the best one that I've found so far. And I definitely look forward to using this a lot more. It's going to get me using USB Type-C cables. It's going to give me a much better option in terms of being able to film my quadcopter and RC car videos. Much better audio than the Hero 4 Session, so I'm really looking forward to using it for that. So let me know what you think of the footage down in the description below. Sorry this went on an extremely too long, but I really just wanted to dive into this. So thanks again for watching. Leave a thumbs up below if you like this video, and if you want to see more stuff like this on the channel, hit the subscribe button down below if you want to get notified whenever I release new videos. There's a little bell there you can check to get that, and you can even do it on your phone, so your phone will give you notifications and stuff. So do that if you want to get notifications when I put out new stuff, and I will see you again next time.